In this lesson, we'll look at some other helpful functions from the math library. So I'll continue in the same file. I'll just comment out our previous code. We just need to leave uncommented the import. And first, let's have a look at the factorial function. So we'll use it at some small integer, 5 for example. So it will be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1, and that is 120. Another helpful function built in that math module is the square root. So math.sqrt, and here we pass the number that we want to take a square root of. So 121, that should be 11. Okay, that's two more functions under the belt. So let's move on. The next one is the radians function. So let me just comment out these two lines. As it is once said by the wise, the radian is a unit of angular measure defined such that an angle of 1 radian subtended from the center of a unit circle produces an arc with arc length 1. So math.radians function converts angle from degrees to radians. And because the full angle is 360 degrees or 2p, we can double check that this is a correct conversion by multiplying math.pi by 2. So it should produce more or less the same number, although I'm not excluding that a tiny discrepancy may occur. However, the opposite is correct as well. So if we'll use the degrees function and we pass this math.pi by 2, that should give us 360 degrees or full angle. All right, so let's comment out these functions and let's move on to the next one called GCD. GCD stands for greatest common divisor, or sometimes is referred to as the greatest common denominator. In short, if we have two integers, so GCD is the largest positive integer that divides each of the integers. And if we are dealing with fractions, GCD is very useful for reducing these fractions. Here we have two numbers, 52 and 8. And if we'll run the code, we find that the greatest common divisor in both cases, no matter how we shuffle them, is 4. So let's comment them out and let's do a final function, which is POW or power. As you know, in Python, you can raise, for example, an integer to a certain power by appending it with the double asterisk and then introducing another, for example, integer that will specify the power. So this POW function does exactly that. So we specify the number we want to raise, and then after the comma, the power we want to raise that number to. And here we go, 5 and 2 gives 25. Let's try another example. This time we'll shuffle them around. So we'll raise 2 to the power of 5, and here we go, 32. So in this lesson, we continued to look at some useful functions from the math module.